And let's bring in ABC's contributor, former chairman of the U.S. House Homeland Security Committee, John Katko, for more. John, thanks for coming on. You know, not even top congressional leaders knew about this operation, let alone gave permission for it. What's your reaction to that as a former congressman in terms of the process you would expect for something like this?
Well, it seems to me it's a bit of a developed gray area. And by that, I mean, this isn't the first president who's taken military action without getting authorization from Congress, and I doubt it'll be the last. And over the last 20 years, we've seen it on a regular basis. So it points up the fact that there's some flaws in the system, but the nature and intent of what we have set up in Congress is for Congress to be briefed in advance. And it's not happening in this case. It didn't happen in this case, and it hasn't happened in other cases. And that's a concern going forward. But now they are being briefed today. They will have their say. They're going to have a lot of say going forward about whether military force should be committed to secure the country or military force should be committed to do anything other than basically what they claimed they did. And that was execute a search warrant, or an arrest warrant, rather, for an indictment out of New York City.
As a former chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, do you have any security concerns with how this all went down and what happens next?
There's a ton of security concerns, absolutely, going forward. I'm not so concerned about making sure he's now. I'm going to put on my old hat as a prosecutor here. He's now in a court custody, and he's now going to be going through that. So whole process, and I'm not concerned about him so much. I'm concerned about what happens going forward with respect to the stabilization in our hemisphere. I mean, you've got Venezuela, who can be it's going to be pretty unstable right now until things settle down. You've got Cuba, which is really struggling right now to keep afloat, and the only reason they kept afloat was because of their massive support from Venezuela. If that dries up, now you got to worry about Cuba, which is a very big issue. Of course, Colombia and elsewhere. So there's a lot of instability and going forward. But I certainly hope that the administration has plans and has thought this through before they went and executed this arrest warrant in the manner they did.
And John, you were also, as you mentioned, a federal prosecutor. Do you think the U.S. has a strong legal case against Nicolas Maduro?
Yeah, in the law, yeah, I do. And I think the law is very, very clear. Actually, I prosecuted these cases, going after drug kingpins around in El Paso and in Puerto Rico. And, the law gives you a considerable amount of power, especially the conspiracy aspect, which means whatever anybody else did on behalf of your efforts, you're on the hook for as well. And if they can prove, which I think they can, that he was head of this cartel, he's clearly not legally, from a technical standpoint, the president of Venezuela. He absolutely was there because he stole the election. But from a proof standpoint, I think the proof is going to be there. I'll be very surprised if it is not. And I think it's going to be very, very, very difficult for him to overcome a conviction here.
All right. Former Congressman and federal prosecutor John Katko, we appreciate it, John. Thank you.